Good morning, students. Welcome you all once again in the live virtual revisionary session organized by Board of Studies of ICAI. My name is Alok Garg. Friends, today we are going to cover Index 24. While it is a revisionary session today, but not to worry. Today we will cover the entire Index 24 along with the concepts, examples, and the practice questions as well. Okay. Friends, as I told you, there are four pillars of accounting and accounting standards. And what are those four pillars? RMPD, recognition, measurement, presentation, and disclosure. RMPD. But where this RMPD, recognition, measurement, presentation, disclosures, right? Recognition, measurement, presentation, disclosure. So where this standard is getting fitted, whether the standard talks about any recognition, any measurement, any presentation, no. This standard only covers disclosure. Sorry. This standard only covers disclosure aspects, disclosure. Okay. That is why the name of the standard is related party disclosures. Okay. So what is the objective of this standard? Why this standard was drafted, issued, notified? The objective of this standard is to ensure that the entity's financial statement or the companies provide disclosures in the financial statement with respect to related party relationship, related party transaction, outstanding balances with the related party, commitments with the related party. Friends, being a CA final student, you all are aware about the related party disclosures. I'm not talking about Ind AS 24 to be precise, but you know the meaning of related party disclosure. You know that you have heard the name related party disclosure and you have seen the related party disclosures in the financial statement. Why? Because you are either going to complete your articleship or you are into the last year of your articleship. That is number one. Number two, being a CA final students, you have already completed CA Inter. So you have already covered AS 18, Accounting Standard 18, right? Which also talks about related party disclosure. So this territory, this concept is not a new concept for us, right? What's new in this particular standard? Of course, we are going to cover, but this, as far as the name is concerned, title is concerned, concept is concerned, disclosure is concerned, it's not new for us. Okay. So friends, in related party disclosures, what we are going to disclose? So first, name of the related party. Who is your relative? Name, उसका नाम चाहिए. Name of the related party. रिश्तेदार का नाम. Right? What is the first? Name of the related party. Number two, relationship with the related party. उस रिश्तेदार के साथ क्या रिश्तेदारी है? Name of the related party. Relationship with the related party. Okay. For example, you have a subsidiary company. A Limited has a subsidiary called B Limited. Okay. So, what is the name of the related party in the books of A Limited? The name of the related party is B Limited. What is the relationship of A Limited with the B Limited? So, B Limited is a subsidiary of the A Limited, right? It's a subsidiary company. So, name of the related party, relationship with the related party. Number three, Len-den with the related party means transactions with the related party. For example, A Limited is selling goods to B Limited, okay, for rupees 10 crore. So what is a transaction with the related party? Sale of goods. Sale of goods, right? Then outstanding balances with the related party. For all these goods sold by A Limited to B Limited, which is subsidiary of A Limited, the outstanding balances, the money received is 8 crore and the money to be received is 2 crore. So what is sundry debtors lying in the books of A Limited? 2 crores. Okay. So this is outstanding balances with the related party. Okay. So to summarize, name of the related party, B Limited, relationship, subsidiary company, transaction, sale of goods, 10 crore, the outstanding balances, sundry debtors, so trade receivable, 2 crore. And if there is any commitment with the related party, for example, this B Limited being a subsidiary has taken a loan from bank, State Bank of India. A Limited has taken a guarantee. In case B Limited will default, A Limited will repay the loan of B Limited. So this is a commitment with related party, or commitment on behalf of the related party. So all these commitments, if you have done for related party on behalf of the related party or with the related party, so these commitments are also going to be disclosed. So these are the disclosure in the financial statement. Again repeating, name of the related party, relationship with the related party, transactions with the related party, outstanding balances with the related party, and commitment, if any, with the related party. These are the disclosures which we are going to make in our notes to accounts. Okay. Why related party standard is mandatory, important? First of all, this related party standard is more of a corporate governance standard, right? Because I'm not saying having a related party and entering into a transaction with a related party is a bad thing. No, right? But at times, this related party flags the red flags in terms of governance of the companies. Why? Because a related party influences the transaction between the reporting entity and the related party. For example, I am the parent company and I have a subsidiary. Okay. So on the subsidiary board, who is having a full control? Parent will have a full control on the subsidiary board, right? So if it is a subsidiary, parent can influence the subsidiary company to sell the goods at a specified price. Parent can influence the price of the goods sold by the subsidiary. Okay. Parents can influence the goods sold by the subsidiary. Okay. That is number one. Number two, for example, KMP. Okay. So a chairman of the parent company is also the MD of the subsidiary company, for example. So the chairman has all the powers, MD has all the powers because he is running the entire show of the company, right? So he can influence these companies to enter into a transaction at a particular terms and condition. Number two, related party transaction also impact the transaction with the unrelated party. For example, A Limited is into the manufacturing of some certain goods. Okay. B Limited is a standalone independent company, and B Limited is into the manufacturing of some product which contains the raw material which is also manufactured by A Limited. Now, B Limited is not purchasing the raw material from A Limited, rather B Limited is purchasing the raw material from some third parties, other parties. Subsequently, A Limited acquired a controlling stake in B Limited. So earlier, A and B were independent parties. But when A Limited acquire controls over B Limited, A Limited will become a parent of B Limited. Now, A Limited influences B Limited. A Limited told B Limited that, listen, you need to purchase this raw material from me, not from others. Why? A is controlling B. On the board of B, A Limited is sitting on the board of B, means a representative of A Limited. Friends, in this case, when this A and B become relative, when they become a related party, right? The transaction from B Limited to C Limited was ended. Okay. Means when somebody comes into a relationship, it may also impact the unrelated, it may also impact the transaction with the unrelated party. Third, why RPT compliance is important for the better corporate governance. You will be surprised to know SEBI LODR. You heard about SEBI LODR, Securities and Exchange Board of India Listing Obligation and Disclosure Regulation 2015. This SEBI is a regulator for listed companies, right? SEBI is a regulator for the listed companies. If you look at the last calendar year, I am talking about year 2025, right from 1st January 2025 to 31st December 2025. You won't believe SEBI has come out with 5 to 6 times circulars and notification relating to related party transactions approval mechanism, right? Means SEBI is too much inclined on the governance around related party transactions, related party disclosures, related party transactions, right? So, as I told you, you will not find any related party stuff in the balance sheet, in the profit and loss, in the statement of changes in equity, in the statement of cash flows. Where you find this entire related party stuff, you will find the entire related party stuff in the notes to accounts, right? And as rightly mentioned by Shaminathan also, in addition to SEBI LODR, because SEBI LODR is applicable only to listed companies, but for unlisted companies, Section 177 and 188 of the Companies Act also talks about the related party transactions approval mechanism. Right? And friends, in the CARO report, in the CARO 2020, a report issued by statutory auditor, they also provide a confirmation, they also provide an opinion whether the related party transactions is whether the related party transactions is in compliance with section 177 and 188 of the Companies Act or not, right? So this standard talks about and this standard reflected better corporate governance also. That was the objective, to bring this standard. And of course, when you do the related party disclosure, it impacts, and when I say impacts, of course, positively, it provides true and fairness of financial position and performance of the entity. This helps in taking informed decision to the stakeholders, right? This helps in informed decision to the stakeholders. Okay. Friends, we discussed this standard is applicable in identifying the related party relationship and transaction. Identifying, what is meant by identifying? How this standard identify the related party relationship? So this standard explains, this standard detailed, this standard provides the guidance who is the related party, which relations will cover under related party, right? For example, this standard says that if any company has a control over another company, that company will become a related party. This standard says that if any company has a joint control, significant influence over another entity, that entity will become a related party. So this standard prescribes, this standard defines that how to identify a related party relationship. How to identify a related party relationship. Okay. Good morning, Lavanya. So this standard prescribes the related party relationship. It helps you, it provides you guidance that which entity can be a related party. For example, this standard says that you know the concept of independent directors. In listed companies, your one third of the audit committee board has to be full of independent directors, right? For the better corporate governance, right? So, independent directors. Now, independent director is somebody who is independent, like myself, Alok Garg. Okay. So if tomorrow a company will hire me as an independent director, a person who is not related to promoter, who is not related to, who is not in the day-to-day affairs of the company, right? And as per Companies Act or as per SEBI LODR, an independent director can be on the board. He can be the independent director, he or she can be the independent director in few companies, right? As per the limit prescribed by the SEBI LODR and Companies Act. So let's say there is one entity, Reliance Industries Limited, Ambani Group, right? Mukesh Ambani Group, Dhirubhai Ambani Group. And there is another entity, Bharti Airtel Limited, Sunil Bharti Mittal Group. If I am on the board of both the companies, Reliance Industries Limited and Bharti Airtel Limited, just because myself, who is a KMP, just because an independent director who is in the board of Ambani Group and the Sunil Bharti Mittal Group, can these two groups become a related party? Because I am a common person on both the board. Lavanya, whether Bharti Airtel Group and Reliance Industries Group can become a related party? Yes or no?
No, sir.
No, you are absolutely right. No. But from where this no is coming? This no is coming from Ind AS 24. Ind AS 24 said that just having a common director does not mean that the two entities become a related party. Right? सिर्फ कॉमन डायरेक्टर होने से वो रिलेटेड पार्टी नहीं बन जाती. जस्ट कॉमन डायरेक्टर होने से वो रिलेटेड पार्टी नहीं बन जाती. राइट? सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल, I am friend of Saminathan. Of course, if I am friend of Saminathan, Saminathan is also my friend. Okay. And Rahul is friend of Saminathan. Saminathan is also friend of Rahul. But I don't know Rahul. And Rahul don't know me. But Saminathan is common between me and Rahul. Who is common? Saminathan is common. He is friend of mine and he is friend of Rahul. So whether myself and Rahul are also friends.
No, sir.
No, we are not friends. Just because having a common friend does not mean we are friends. Does not mean we are friends, right? So this Ind AS 24 gives a detailed guidance on the related party relationship, right? On the related party relationships. And this standard also talks about what could be the related party transactions, okay? So this standard talks about the relationships and talks about the transaction. This standard is applicable in identifying outstanding balances, commitment between entity and the related party. This standard prescribes the situations in which the disclosures are required. It determines the disclosure to be made. So to cut a long story short, this standard talks about four things. Number one, this standard says that I will help you in identifying the related party relationship. Okay. Once you have identified who all are your relatives, then what you need to do? You need to disclose the name of the relative, name of the related party. Then you need to disclose the relationship with the related party. Then you need to disclose the transactions with the related party. Then you need to disclose outstanding balances with the related party. Then you need to disclose the commitment, if any, with the related party. I hope these four things are clear to you. These five things are clear to you, and you will be able to remember these five things. Right? Okay. Now, who can be the related party? Friends, the related party can be the living thing and the artificial. Related party can be a person or an artificial person. Related party can be a person. He can be a person or artificial person. What is meant by artificial person? What is meant by artificial person? I am waiting.
Company.
Companies, entities, okay? So person means human being. Person means Alok, Saminathan, Lavanya, Rahul. Okay. So these are the person. Artificial person means entity, right? Entity, company. The entity is a bigger word because the related party not necessarily should be only the entities where the word ends with private limited or limited. It could be partnership firms also, right? Proprietorship firms also. It could be anyone. So related party can be a person or it can be an entity. Okay. So two things can be a related party. Two person can be a related party. It can be a person or an entity, right? And in whose financial statement we are disclosing this related party disclosure. What is the name of that entity? That entity is called as a
Reporting entity.
reporting entity. That entity is called as a reporting entity, right? The entity who is reporting. Okay. And the reporting entity, what disclosures the reporting entity will disclose in terms of related party transaction, Lavanya? What disclosure reporting entity will
Name.
disclose? Yes.
Name of the related party.
Name of the related
Relationship with
party.
the
Then
relationship with the related party.
relationship with the related party. Very good. Then
Transactions with the related party.
transactions with the related party. Then
Outstanding balance and commitments with the related party.
outstanding balances with the related party and commitments with means with the related party or on behalf of the related party. So outstanding balances and commitments with the related party. Very good. Very good. So this reporting entity will report these aspects. Now, friends, what is meant by a related party transaction? What is the definition of a related party transaction? The definition of related party transaction is related party transaction means transfer of resources, services, or obligation between a reporting entity and a related party, regardless of whether a price is charged or not. What is a transaction? A transaction is a transfer of resources, right? Or services, goods and services, or obligation between a reporting entity and a related party, regardless of whether a price is charged or not. Let me give you one example and let me ask you whether this is a related party transaction or not. A Limited has taken a loan from, Mr. Ram. A Limited has taken a loan from Mr. Ram. B Limited is a parent of A Limited. B Limited is a holding company of A Limited. Subsequently, B Limited told Mr. Ram that this loan will be repaid by me. A will not repay this loan, right? So I will pay all the installments. I will repay the principal and interest pertaining to this loan. So earlier the obligation to pay loan belongs to B Limited. Sorry, A Limited. Now, when B Limited agree to repay the loan, B Limited enter into a contract with Mr. Ram that I will repay this loan. Now, this obligation has been transferred from A Limited to the B Limited. Is it a related party transaction?
Yes, sir.
Why?
It is a transfer of obligation.
Very good. Very good, Lavanya. So, thank you so much. Beautifully answered. Why it is a related party transaction? Because it is a transfer of obligation. Only transfer of goods and services is not a related party transaction. It is a related party transaction, but related party transaction also includes transfer of obligation. Second example. A Limited and B Limited are related party. B Limited is an associate of A Limited. A Limited is having a significant influence over B Limited. A Limited sold goods worth 1 crore rupee to B Limited at a free of cost. No price has been charged, no consideration has been charged. So A Limited sold goods to B Limited at zero price. The invoice was raised but at a zero value. Okay. Worth goods 1 crore rupee. Is it a related party transaction? The price has not been charged. Saminathan?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Why, Lavanya? Why it is a related party transaction? The price has not been charged.
Even though there is no consideration, if there is any transfer between the two related parties, it is
It is
considered
a
as related party
Yes, it is
transaction.
a transfer of goods and services. It is a transfer of goods. So even though if no consideration is charged, still it will be qualified as a related party transaction. Still it will be qualified as a related party transaction. Very good. Very good. Yes, it is a related party transaction. So have you guys understood the meaning of a related party transaction? Right? So whether commitments are the related party transaction? Yes, while the transaction has not been incurred as of now, but in case of any default or in the happening or non-happening of some future, in the happening or non-happening of some future events and transaction, might be that commitment may be obliged. Okay. Example of the related party transaction could be, my friends, what could be the example of the related party transaction? Purchase or sale of goods and services, purchase or sale of property and other assets, rendering or receiving of services, leases, transfer of research and development, transfer under license agreements, settlement of liabilities on behalf of the entity or by the entity on behalf of that related party, right? Commitment, settlement, guarantee. So all these are related party transactions. Okay. Now, coming to the definition of a related party, right? Who can be the related party? Let's understand some definitions. Let's understand some definitions. My dear friends, let me open my Excel file so that you will be able to understand it very easily. While the name is revisionary class, but it is a full class. Okay, it is not only a revisionary class, it is a full class on Index 24, where I'll cover all the concepts and do a lot of practice questions and cover a lot of examples. Who is a related party? A related party can be a person or it can be an entity, right? A related party can be a person or a related party can be an entity. Which person can be a related party? So, which person can be a related party? Let me again go back to my presentation for the person. First of all, I will tell you one thing. In your accounting standard, the word was a person or a relative of that person, right? Right? A person or a relative of that person. But what is the word used in Ind AS?
Close member of that person.
Close member of that person's family. Close member of that person family. So the word is close member of that person's family, right? A person or a close member of that person's family. A close member of that person's family. So what is a close member of that person's family? It is a relative. ठीक है? याद करने के लिए who is a close member of that person's family? It is more like a relative. In accounting standard, spouse, right? For example, A is a managing director of a company. Of course, he is a KMP of that company. So wife of A will also become related party of the company. Why? Because a person, if a person will be a related party, the relative of that person will also become a related party. In accounting standard, the word was relative. Okay. And wife was relative of husband. Wife was relative of that person. In Ind AS also, wife is a close member of that person family. So नाम बदल गया, but चीज तो वही है. Okay. So a person, just to understand what we are understanding here. So we are understanding a person, right? A person or his or her relative. A person or his or her relative will become the related party when in three situations of that entity. कब? कब वो इंसान और उस इंसान के रिश्तेदार कब रिलेटेड पार्टी बनेंगे? तीन सिचुएशन में बनेंगे. उस कंपनी के रिलेटेड पार्टी कब बनेंगे? तीन सिचुएशन में बनेंगे. हैव यू गॉट इट? हैव यू गॉट इट और नॉट? Right? So
Yes, sir.
a person or relative of that person. And what is the meaning of relative here? The meaning of relative is close member of that person's family. This is the meaning of relative here. This is the meaning of word relative here. Okay. A person or a close member of that person's family is related to reporting entity if that person has control or joint control over the reporting entity. If a person is having a control or a joint control over the reporting entity, that person will become the related party of that reporting entity. If a person will become the related party, whether the relative of that person will also become the related party?
Yes, sir.
Answer is automatically yes. If a person is the related party, then parent of that person, father and mother, will automatically become the related party. Spouse, wife of that person will automatically become the related party. Kids means son and daughter will automatically become the related party. Brother and sister, will automatically become the related party. Okay. So these will become the related party automatically when, if a person will become the related party. When a person will become the related party, a person will become the related party in few situations. What are those situations? Situation number one, if that person has a control or joint control over the reporting entity. Example, Mr. A. Mr. A has acquired 60% stake in AG Limited. Mr. A has acquired 60% stake in AG Limited. Tell me, who is having a control over AG Limited?
Mr. A.
Mr. A is having a control over AG Limited, right? So in that case, whether Mr. A is a related party to AG Limited or not? Answer is yes. So once Mr. A become the related party of AG Limited, the close member of Mr. A's family, relative of Mr. A, will also become the related party of AG Limited. Example number two. Mr. A has a joint control over AG Limited. For example, Mr. A and friend of Mr. A, who is Mr. B, right? So Mr. A and Mr. B has a joint control over AG Limited. Tell me, who is related party to AG Limited?
Both Mr. A and Mr. B.
Both Mr. A and Mr. B. Lavanya, only Mr. A and Mr. B will be the related party
No, sir, along with their close family members.
along with their close family member, along with their relative, right? So their relative will also become a related party, right? And thanks, Aminathan, for answering all the questions on the chat box. Thank you so much, right? Third example, if that person has a significant influence over the reporting entity, Mr. A has a significant influence over AG Limited. Mr. A acquired 20% stake in AG Limited. What this AG Limited becomes when Mr. A acquires 20% stake? Have you read Ind AS 28? Saminathan, tell me, what this AG Limited become?
Associate.
Associate.
Associate. Very good. Associate. So when I'm dealing with you guys, so Lavanya, Saminathan, Rahul, and of course Radhika is also answering a lot of question on the chat box, right? He's on from the offline mode. So I typically and I really enjoying that this is a revisionary session because you guys are aware about the concept. Okay. Yes, AG Limited will become the associate and A Limited is called as an investor and A Limited is having a significant influence because A Limited acquired 20% stake and Ind AS 28 says that if an entity or a person is acquired 20% of the 20% of stake in another company, so it will be a deemed a significant influence until and unless you demonstrate that this is not the case. Okay, so in this case Mr. A has a significant influence. Mr. A will become the related party of AG Limited and Mr. A's close family member, Mr. A's relative will also become a related party of AG Limited, right? Third, Mr. A is a KMP of the reporting entity, right? Friends, Mr. A is a member of the KMP. Don't remember like that. Mr. A is a KMP, right? For example, Mr. A. Mr. A is a managing director or Mr. A is a CEO or Mr. A is a CFO or Mr. A is a chairman or Mr. A is a director in AG Limited. Tell me whether Mr. A will become the related party.
Yes, sir.
Why?
He is the KMP of the reporting entity.
He is the KMP of the reporting entity. He is the KMP of AG Limited. So in this case, yes, Mr. A will become the related party and all the relative of Mr. A will also become the related party. second example, if from this example, Mr. A is the managing director of the parent company of AG Limited. Mr. A is the KMP of the parent company of reporting entity, which is AG Limited. Tell me whether Mr. A is a related party to this subsidiary company, or I mean to say AG Limited.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
sir.
your yes does not contains lot of confidence. Yes or
Yes,
no?
sir. He is a member
Give
of
me yes.
KMP of a
Yes.
parent.
You are absolutely right, Lavanya. For example, Mr. A. Mr. A is a MD in A Limited, right? A Limited has a subsidiary company which is AG Limited. Right? So Mr. A is a KMP of the parent of AG Limited. So in this case, Mr. A will also become the related party of AG Limited. And once Mr. A become the related party of AG Limited, all the relative of Mr. A will also become the related party. Right? Now, the question is, sir, all the relative means whom? Bua, Fufa, Mama, Nana, Kaka, all? Relative
No,
means
sir.
relative.
Only father, mother, children,
Yes.
brother, sister,
Spouse.
and their dependents, spouse, and
Yes.
children of spouse.
Yes. So basically, in India, the structure of the relations are very complex. He is the sister of my cousin's wife's distant relative and his cousin brother. My God. Right? So not all the relative. So relative means close member of the family. Close member of the family means that person who is the related party, that person's spouse. If person is female, then her husband. If person is male, then his wife, spouse, right? Parallel spouse. Or domestic partner, it's a Western concept, right? So leave that. So spouse or domestic partner or brother, parallelly, that spouse, husband and wife, brother and sister, right? Brother and sister. So parallelly, who all have come? Husband, wife, brother, sister. Then upstream, who will cover under upstream? Parents, mother and
Father
father.
and mother.
Father and mother. Then downstream, who will cover in the downstream? Children. Children of that person or spouse of that person. Children of that person or that person's spouse. So why it is written that for that person's spouse, for example, in case of divorced, okay, or in case of remarriages, okay. So anyone's, right, that person's kids means son and daughter, and that person's spouse kids, children, son and daughter will also cover under the definition of relative. Then dependent of that person or that person's spouse, for example, dependent of that person, if anyone who is dependent on that person means, for example, wife, brother of the wife, right? So brother-in-law of that person is dependent on that person. Mr. A is having a control over AG Limited. Mr. A become a related party. Ram is dependent on Mr. A. Ram is a brother-in-law of Mr. A and Ram is dependent on Mr. A. Yes, Ram will also become the related party. Or in this case, only parents of that person is covered. But if the parents of a spouse are dependent on that person or the spouse of that person, then they will also become a related party. Then they will also become a related party. Okay. To cut a long story short, if I need to draw the structure, if I need to draw the structure, this is a person. Okay. So here spouse, here brother and sister. Siblings, right? Above side, parents, father and mother. Below, children, right? Son, daughter. Okay. Son and daughter. In addition to these, dependents, right? Is that clear? They will become the related party. Is that clear? Will you be able to remember this structure? Parallelly, spouse, brother,
Yes, sir.
sister, upward parents, downward kids. Okay. And of course, dependent will cover. Who is meant by KMP? KMP is a person, KMP is authority, right? KMP is a person having authority and responsibility for planning, directing, and controlling. Person who is having authority and responsibility for planning, directing, and controlling the activities of the entity directly or indirectly, including any director, whether executive or non-executive of that entity, right? Means, typically speaking, who will be the KMP? Managing director, chairman, CEO, CFO, companies, company secretary, independent directors, all the executive directors, all the non-executive directors, including independent directors, they will become the KMP. So who is governing the board? Who is running the affairs of the company? Who is on the board of the company? Right? These all persons will become the KMP of that company, a person having authority and responsibility for planning, directing, and controlling. Okay, is that clear? Now we come to the reporting entity relationship with the entity. We are done with the person. Now we have reached to the entities. Okay. Any question so far? Lavanya and Saminathan, any question so far on that
No,
person?
sir. Clear.
Very much clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now we reach to the relationship with the entity, right? Related party relationship with the entity. The first relation, let me explain. What is the relationship? Both are member of the same group. Both are member of the same group. What does it mean? Who can be the member of the same group? Parent, subsidiary,
Parent.
and fellow subsidiary. Parent, subsidiary, and fellow subsidiary is all related to each other. A Limited has a subsidiary, B Limited. A Limited has a subsidiary, C Limited. Okay. A Limited has another subsidiary, D Limited. Tell me, who are the member of the same group? Tell me, who are the member
A,
of the
B,
same group? Sorry.
A, B, C, and D.
A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D are the member of the same group. Parent, subsidiary, fellow subsidiary, all are member of the same group. Means all are related to each other. So if you will prepare the financial statement of A Limited in the notes to accounts, what name you will give as a related party in the books of A Limited?
B, C, and D.
B, C, and D. What is the relationship?
Subsidiaries.
Subsidiary. When you prepare the books of accounts of B Limited, which relative you will cover?
A, C, and D.
What is the relationship of A and B?
Parent and subsidiary.
Parent. No, no, no. Yes, parent and subsidiary. But in the books of B Limited, you will show parent company, right? A Limited is a parent company, right? For example, if Ram is son of Dashrath, who is Dashrath? He is father of Ram. So when Ram will address Dashrath, how Ram will address Mr. Dashrath? Ram will say that father of me, father of mine, my father, right? Okay. So A Limited parent company. What about C and D in the
Fellow
book?
subsidiaries.
Fellow subsidiary, cousins, sibling, right? Sibling, cousins. So fellow subsidiary. What about in the books of C Limited? Who will be the relative?
Same, sir. A is parent and B and D are fellow subsidiaries.
What about D Limited?
A is parent and B and C are fellow subsidiaries.
Very good, very good. So now you understood the member of the same group. So parent, all subsidiary, and fellow subsidiaries all are become member of the same group and all are related to each other. Okay. So this is the example which I have given here. I'm not reiterating again because I've already covered, right? I've already covered in the diagram. Yes. Now second relationship, second रिश्तेदारी. What is the second रिश्तेदारी? One is an associate or JV of the other. One is an associate or JV of the other. What does it mean? क्या मतलब है इसका? One is an associate or JV of the other, or an associate or JV of a member of a group of which the other entity is also a member. So first, let's cover the first part. One is an associate or JV of the other. Right. A Limited. This is A Limited. A Limited is having a joint control over AG Limited. A Limited is having a joint control over AG Limited. What is the relationship of AG Limited with A Limited?
Parent subsidiary.
जॉइंट कंट्रोल है लवन्या, जॉइंट कंट्रोल, नॉट कंट्रोल, फुल कंट्रोल नहीं है, जॉइंट कंट्रोल है. Joint venture. AG
Joint
will
venture.
become a joint venture. AG will become a joint venture. Okay. So in this case, AG Limited and A Limited will be a related party. Why? Because A Limited is a venturer of AG Limited and AG Limited is a joint venture of A Limited. Okay. Second example. Second example. A Limited is having a significant influence over BG Limited. In this case, whether A Limited and BG Limited is a related party?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Why? So BG Limited is
Having
associate. BG
associate.
Limited is an associate of A Limited. So A Limited and BG Limited is a related party. A Limited is an investor entity and BG Limited is an associate. Okay. Situation 1. X Limited is having a joint control or significant influence over Y Limited. This means Y Limited is a JV or associate of X Limited. So in this case, if like the example which I have covered in diagram, if A Limited will prepare the books of accounts, what relationship, what entity A will disclose? कौन सी एंटिटी डिस्क्लोज करेंगे?
Joint control with JV with AG Limited and associate of BG Limited.
So how A Limited will disclose? First of all, A Limited will disclose name of the related party. What are the name of the related party of A Limited? AG and
AG
B.
Limited and BG Limited.
Now the relationship. So how it will disclose the relationship? For AG Limited, it will disclose joint venture. For BG Limited, it will disclose associate, right? For
Associate.
example, here they have disclosed name of related party, then relationship, right? So X is having a joint control or significant influence over Y Limited. This means Y Limited is either a joint venture or associate. So this is how it is going to be disclosed. Situation number 2. So we understood one is very simple, that one is an associate or JV of the other entity. Now it is talking about or one is an associate or JV of the member of the group also. For example, like we have covered this group, na? We have covered this group. For example, this D Limited is having a joint venture. This D Limited is having a joint venture. This D Limited is having a joint venture, which is DG Limited. Now tell me, if A Limited, if A Limited will prepare the balance sheet in the notes to accounts, who will be the related parties? Of course, B, C, D तो है ही. Whether DG will become the related party? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. The member, so associate and JV of the member of the group will also become the related party of all entities, of all the parties, right? So, what relationship A Limited will show? A Limited will show associate of the subsidiary entity or JV of the subsidiary entity. B Limited. When B Limited will prepare the books of accounts, B Limited will finalize the notes to accounts. What relatives B Limited will disclose? A, C and D तो है. DG? Yes. Yes. A Limited parent company, C and D fellow subsidiary, and DG Limited joint venture of the fellow subsidiary. Okay. So it will also become the related party. So, right. So if an entity is a associate or joint venture of another entity, it will automatically become a related party of that entity. Or if an entity is an associate or JV of any entity of a group, of a member of the group, it will become a related party of to all the member of that group, right? To all the member of that group. Clear? So this is what it is written here. X Limited is a subsidiary of A Limited. A is a parent, X is a subsidiary. And B Limited is also a subsidiary of A Limited. Who are the member of the group? We have discussed X, A and B all are the member of the group. Okay. X, A and B are all the member of the group. So X Limited and B Limited, these are the fellow subsidiary. A is the parent and X and B are the subsidiary of A Limited. These are the member. Now, Y Limited is an associate or JV of B Limited, right? So A is a parent, X and B, sorry, X and A, so sorry, X and B. A is a parent and it has two subsidiary, X and B. Okay. Now, Y is an associate or JV of B. Y is either an associate or JV of B. So in this case, if X is a reporting entity, who are the related party? We discussed. If X is a reporting entity, who are the related party? A Limited is a parent, B Limited, fellow subsidiary, and Y Limited, associate or JV of B Limited, which is a fellow subsidiary. If B Limited is a reporting entity, then A is a parent, X is a fellow subsidiary, Y is a associate or JV. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Both are JV of the same third party. Both are JV of the same third party. Okay. Both are JV of the same third party. Means what? A Limited. A Limited has a joint control over B Limited. A Limited also has a joint control over C Limited. Okay. So B and C both are JV of A Limited. Tell me, in the books of accounts of A Limited, who will be the related party? B and C.
B and C,
What is the relationship?
joint control.
Joint
That is
venture.
joint.
Joint venture. So A will write joint venture. Okay. Now, when B Limited will prepare the notes to accounts, B Limited will finalize the balance sheet. What related party B will disclose and what are the relationship B will disclose?
A Limited and C Limited are related parties.
A Limited and C Limited are the related parties. A Limited and C Limited are the related parties, right? So A is a venturer having a joint control, right? A is like a parent. A is a venturer having joint control, and C Limited is a fellow joint venture, right? C Limited is a fellow joint venture. So Like we told, a fellow subsidiary. So there is a concept of fellow joint venture also, right? Okay. So if A Limited has a control over B and C, so B and C will become fellow subsidiary. If A Limited has a joint control over B and C, B and C will become fellow joint venture. Have you understood this part? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Samanathan? Yes. So whatever relationship we have covered so far with the entity, like the first relationship we have covered, both are the member of the same group. We understood it, right? Number two, we have covered one is an associate or JV of the other entity, or one is an associate or JV of the member of the group, right? Then we have covered the two entities who are the JV of the same entity, right? So these fellow joint venture are also become a related party. Then fourth, one entity is a JV of a third entity and other entity is also an associate of the third entity. For example, likewise, A Limited. A Limited has a joint control over B Limited and A Limited has a significant influence over C Limited. So who is a B Limited for A Limited? Joint venture. Who is a C Limited for A Limited?
Associate.
Associate. So if an entity is a joint venture of a third party and another entity is an associate of the same third party, these two entities, JV and associate, these two entities will also become a cousins, will also become a related party. Okay? Is that clear? Is that clear or not clear?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So one important tip I want to give it to all of you to avoid any confusion or to ensure that your answer your answer is correct, you have to draw the diagram in your paper. You have to draw the diagram in your answer sheet. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Tell me, when I'm drawing as a diagram and when I'm writing as a statement, which one you find it most easier to understand?
Diagram ones.
Diagram, of course. Diagram is much easier to understand if you are able to understand with the help of diagram. So please draw the diagram for the related party questions in the exam. Believe me, otherwise you will make a mistake. Otherwise you will make a mistake. And in your revision also, like I have drawn the diagram, na? In your revision also, please draw the diagram for the revision. Okay. Like this diagram was all are the member of the same group. This diagram was, for example, fellow joint venture. This diagram is for one associate, one JV. Okay, right? So how do we write it? For example, now let's discuss with the statement example also. Z Limited has a joint control over X Limited. So X is a JV of Z and significant influence over Y Limited. Y is a associate of Z. X is a JV, Y is a associate. This means X is a joint venture of Z and Y is an associate of Z. So X and Y are related party in this case. Why? Because one is a JV, another one is an associate of the same party. So if X is a reporting entity in the notes to accounts of X Limited, who will be the related party? Z and Y. Who is Z? Z is a venturer having joint control. Who is Y? Associate of Z oblique entity where venturer has a significant influence. Okay. Is that clear? Not clear. Clear हुआ नहीं हुआ?
Clear, sir.
Clear? Very much clear? Okay. So we have covered four relationship from the entity perspective. Now we are moving to the fifth relationship. Now we are moving to the fifth relationship. What is the fifth relationship? The entity is controlled or jointly controlled by a person identified earlier. Which person we have identified earlier? Which person we have identified?
Subsidiaries.
Sorry.
Subsidiaries. Subsidiaries,
Person,
associates, joint venture.
person. There are two.
Person.
There are two
Who,
type of related party. One is a person, another one is entity.
yes, sir.
So
Who has control or joint control? Who has significant influence and KMP and
yes,
all relatives.
and relative. For example, the entity is controlled or joint controlled by a person identified earlier. And in person, the relative also comes into the picture. Okay. Person means person including his close family member. Okay. So let me give you an example and please tell me whether who will become a related party. Mr. A. Mr. A. Okay. Mr. A having 10% stake in AG Limited, right? Now, Mrs. A means wife of Mr. A is having 15% stake in AG Limited. Okay. Then, father of A, father of A is having, let's say, 18% stake in AG Limited. Then, son of A is also having 19% stake in AJ Limited. Okay, in AJ Limited. So Mr. A 10%, Mrs. A, wife of A 15%, father of A 18%, son of A 19%. Okay. So now my question is whether Mr. A is having a control over AG Limited. My question is whether Mr. A is having a control over AG Limited.
No, sir. Individually, he is not having control.
Sir, individually it is not a control, but overall with a close family members, it is a control. It's a 62 percentage.
It's a 62%.
Sixty.
When you are looking at a person from the related party transaction perspective, Mr. A including relative, Mr. A including close family member has a control over AG Limited, right? Not individually Mr. A, but yes, Mr. A including close family member. Mr. A, including close family member, is having a control over AG Limited. Okay. Now the same parties. Okay. So this is one. Now the same parties. The same parties means Mr. A, Mrs. A, father, son. These all are having same 10, 15, 18, 19. This all are having same 10, 15, 18, 19% stake in BG Limited. Tell me whether AG and BG are related party.
Yes, sir.
Why?
Yes, sir.
Why AG and BG are related party?
Because they are having the common control.
AG and BG are related party because it is controlled by the same person. It is controlled by the same person. It is controlled by the same person means person including relative. So person including his or her relative is controlling AG Limited and person including his or her relative is controlling BG Limited also. Right? Sir, what happened if let's say this will become 15, this will become 10, this will become 19, this will become let's say 12, then what will happen? Then what will happen?
Then
Sir,
also they are
again
related.
also it
Then
comes to
also, then also it does not mean same level of percentage stake. No. If a person including relative is controlling an entity and the same person including relative is also controlling another entity, these two entity will become a related party. These two entity will become a fellow subsidiary, right? So this is what it is written here. The entity is controlled or jointly controlled by a person identified earlier. X Limited is a reporting entity, right? So X Limited and Y Limited are related parties. When if Mr. A, who is related to X Limited, also control or joint control Y Limited, right? Is that clear? If the entity is controlled or jointly controlled by a person identified earlier. Who identified earlier? A person who has a control or joint control is a related party. A person who has a significant influence over the company, he is a related party. A person who is a KMP of the entity is also a related party. Or a person who is a KMP of the parent is also become the related party of a subsidiary. हमने पढ़ा है ना अभी ये या नहीं पढ़ा? Have we covered? Not covered? We
Yes,
have
sir,
covered.
covered,
We
sir.
have covered. The next relative. A person who is having control or joint control of the entity. A person who is having a control or joint control over the entity means Mr. A, independently or including the relative. Mr. A is having a control or joint control of AG Limited, right? And a person who is having a control or joint control of the entity has also significant influence over the entity or is a member of the KMP of the entity or of its parent. So, Mr. A, who is having a control or joint control of AG Limited, Mr. A is also having a significant influence over BG Limited. So, whether AG and BG will become a related party?
Yes, sir.
Yes, AG and BG will become a related party. So what this relationship talks about? Let me clarify here. Let me clarify. Mr. A. Mr. A has a control or joint control on AG Limited, right? This Mr. A is also having a significant influence over BG Limited. So in this case, AG Limited and BG Limited will become a related party. Okay. Or Mr. A has a control or joint control of AG Limited. Now the second situation. What is the second situation? Mr. A. Mr. A is having a control or joint control over AG Limited. And this Mr. A is also a KMP in the BG Limited. So whether AG Limited and BG Limited will become a related party?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, AG Limited and BG Limited will become a related party. This is what it is written. Na? A person who is having a control or joint control of the entity has significant influence over the entity or is a member of the KMP or is a KMP of the entity or the parent. Or let's say Mr. A has a control and joint control of AG Limited and Mr. A also become a KMP of the parent of BG Limited. Mr. A is not the parent of BG Limited, only a KMP, right here. So likewise, if Mr. A will become the KMP of the parent of BG Limited, then AG and BG will also become a related party. The parent of BG is also a related party, but BG is also a related party to AG. Is that clear? Is that clear? Not clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So examples. Quickly, let's cover this example also. Mr. A has a control over A Limited and B Limited. So A Limited and B Limited are also become related party because same person has control. Person include relative also. Mr. A has a control over A Limited and joint control over B Limited. Mr. A has a control over A Limited and joint control over B Limited. A Limited and B Limited are also become related because same person has control in one entity and joint control in another entity. Right? Same person has control in one entity and joint control in another entity. Right? Mr. A has control over A Limited and significant influence over B Limited. So A Limited and B Limited are also become related party. Why? Same person has control in one entity and significant influence in other entity. Mr. A has control over A Limited and is a MD and CEO in B Limited. Means A Limited and B Limited are also become related party because Same person has control in one entity and KMP in other entity. Is that clear? Is that clear or clear?
Clear, sir.
Very much clear? Yes. So before moving into the further relationship, let's discuss one question from the from where? From ICAI Board of Studies material. Then we'll come to the practice questions also. Right now we are left with only two relationship and the exclusions. So I'll cover that part also. But before that, let's cover some relationship practice. Let me please confirm once this file is visible to all of you. Just a minute. I'm opening that file. Yes. I hope now the file is visible to all of you. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Entity P Limited. Entity P Limited. Just a minute. I don't know why the pen is not working. Yes. Entity P Limited has a controlling interest in subsidiaries SA. Okay. Entity P is having a controlling interest in subsidiaries SA Limited and SB Limited and SC Limited. So who is a parent? P is a parent and SA, SB and SC are the subsidiary. SC Limited is a subsidiary of SB Limited, right? And this SC Limited is a step subsidiary. SC is a step subsidiary, okay? SC is a step subsidiary, okay? Just a minute. Okay. SC is a step subsidiary. So P Limited also has a significant influence over associates A1 and A2 Limited, right? P Limited also has a significant influence over associate A1 and A2 Limited. Subsidiary SC Limited has a significant influence over associate A3 Limited. So this parent P has some subsidiary, step subsidiary, some associate of the step subsidiary, and this is also having some associate. This is also having some associate. Okay. So friends, here what happened? If you see this entire structure, how P is placed. P is on the top. P is the parent. P has two subsidiary SA, SB. SC is the step subsidiary of SB. And SC is also having an associate A3. And P is having an associate A1 and A2. Right? A1 and A2. Now, examine related party relationship of various entities. In this case, tell me who are the relative of P Limited. All are relative of P Limited. All, right? All the subsidiary, step subsidiary, associate of the subsidiary, and associates all are relative of P Limited. And friends, subsidiaries include step subsidiaries and subsidiaries also includes associate and JV of subsidiaries also, right? When you are looking at a member of the group, and what we discussed when you are looking at a member of the group, we discussed that parent, subsidiary and fellow subsidiary, all are included, all are the related to each other. All are related to each other. And what we also discussed? We also discussed if one entity is having a control or joint control in another entity, and this entity is having a significant influence over another entity, these two entities will also become a related party. You remember we discussed now? Fellow subsidiary, fellow venturer, fellow joint venture, one joint venture, one associate, we discussed now. All these are related parties. So in this case, if I talk about P Limited, P who is a parent, SA, SB, SC, A1, A2, A3, all are related parties. If I talk about SA Limited, fellow subsidiary, parent P Limited, SB and SC, fellow subsidiary, and A1, A2, A3 all are related party. Subsidiary includes associate and joint venture of subsidiaries also, right? And A1, A2 भी related party होंगे ना? क्यों? Because they are the cousins. So P has a control over SASB, and P has a significant influence over A1, A2. So all are these related parties. Yes or no? Any challenge here, Lavanya? Any challenge in
No,
this
sir.
question?
Yes, clear, sir.
Clear now?
Yes,
Now,
sir.
moving further, in SB Limited, same. SB में भी क्या होगा? P is a parent, SA, SC, A1, A2, A3 all are related party. In SC Limited, again, P, parent, and SASB, A1, A2, A3 all are related party. So parent subsidiary is very, very clear. What about in the individual financial statement of A1, A2 and A3 Limited? Who will become the related party in the financial statement of A1, A2 and A3 Limited? P. For A1 and A2, P is a investor who is having a direct significant influence. For A3, P is a parent of the parent, ultimate parent है ना? P कौन है? SC का पेरेंट है, राइट? सो पेरेंट का पेरेंट है. So, but what about associate? Whether A1, A2 and A3, are they related to each other? Two associates are not related to each other. Two associates are not related to each other, right? For example, A Limited has a significant influence over B Limited. A Limited has a significant influence over C Limited. Then A and C will not become a related, B and C will not become a related party. Okay. But if A has a control over B Limited and A has a significant influence over C Limited, it will become a related party.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it will become a related party. So friends, again, let me clarify here. Let me clarify here. A Limited is having a control on B Limited. A Limited is having a significant influence over C Limited. So B and C are related parties. Okay. A Limited is having a joint control over B Limited. A Limited is having a significant influence over C Limited. B and C are related party. Third, A Limited. A Limited is having a significant influence over B Limited. A Limited is having a significant influence over C Limited. Whether B and C are related party?
No, sir.
No, no, no. B and C are not related party. Is that clear with this diagram? With this diagram, is that clear? Right?
Yes, sir.
So for an associate being a related party, the investor or parent of associate should control some other entity, or should control some should have a joint control over some other entity, so that that associate or that other entity will become a related party. Right? Clear? Is that clear? Not clear? Is that clear or not clear, friends?
Clear, sir.
सो ये वाला क्लियर हो गया, ये क्वेश्चन, ये प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चन? यस, illustration number 1 is clear. A1, A2,
Yes.
A3 are not related to each other. Yes, please.
Clear, sir.
Okay, now illustration number 2. Let's discuss illustration number 2 on KMP. Mr. X has 100% investment in A Limited. So, who is Mr. X here? Mr. X is having a control over A Limited. Mr. X is a related party to A Limited. Mr. X is also a member of the KMP. Mr. X is a KMP of C Limited. So Mr. X, a person, is having a control on A Limited. Mr. X is a KMP of C Limited. Tell me whether Mr. X having a control in one entity and become a KMP of another entity. Whether this A and C is a related party?
Yes, sir.
Yes, A and C are related party. Right? We discussed in the person definition. Of course, Mr. X is related to A and C both. And these A and C are also related party. Why? Because Mr. X is a parent for one entity and same Mr. X is a KMP in other entity. These two entities will become a related party. Now, B Limited has 100% investment in C Limited. B Limited has 100% investment in C Limited. So who is B Limited? B Limited is a parent of C Limited. B Limited is a parent of C Limited, right? So Mr. X is having a control over A Limited. Mr. X is a KMP of C Limited and this B Limited is a parent of C Limited, right? What I told you that if a person is a KMP of a company, that person and KMP are related to each other, right? मैंने बताया है ना कि अगर अगर एक पर्सन किसी एंटिटी का KMP है, he will become a related party. Or if a person is a KMP of the parent of that entity, so he'll also become related party of that entity as well. मतलब a KMP is a related party of a parent and a KMP is also a related party of the subsidiary. A KMP is also a related party of the parent and KMP is also the related party of a parent subsidiary both. You understand it, no?
Yes, sir.
You understand it, or let me again draw a diagram so that you will have more clarity. So that you will have more clarity. What I will explain you, what I have explained you, I have explained you Mr. A. Mr. A is a KMP of A Limited. So Mr. A and A Limited are related parties. So Mr. A and A Limited are related party. Now, second example. Mr. A, Mr. A is a KMP of A Limited and A Limited is having a subsidiary B Limited. So in this case, Mr. A is a related party of whom? A Limited and B Limited both, right? Why? Because Mr. A is a KMP of the parent of B Limited. Mr. A is the KMP of parent of B Limited, right? तो अगर पेरेंट का KMP है तो सब्सिडरी का भी रिलेटेड पार्टी हो गया. Is that clear? But tell me, if Mr. A is a KMP of B Limited, right? तो B Limited के तो related party हैं. If Mr. A is the KMP of B Limited, of course Mr. A is a related party of B Limited. But whether Mr. A will become the related party of A Limited, who is a parent of B?
No, sir.
Why no? Why
Because
in this case it is
B
yes,
limited,
but why in the next case it is no?
B limited being subsidiary cannot control parent.
Very good, Lavanya. Very good. Thank you so much. Yes. So when Mr. A is a KMP of the parent. Mr. A is sitting on the board of A Limited. Mr. A is the important person in A Limited, and A Limited has a control over B Limited. Indirectly, Mr. A is also controlling B Limited decisions. But when Mr. A will become the KMP of B Limited, of course, Mr. A will control the decision of B Limited and hence he is a related party of B Limited. But Mr. A will not be able to influence or control the decisions of A Limited. That is why in this case, Mr. A is not a related party of A Limited if he is a KMP of B Limited, right? But if Mr. A is a KMP of A Limited, who is a parent of B, he will automatically become the KMP of or related party of B Limited. Is that clear? Is that clear, my dear friends? So,
Yes,
friends,
sir.
with this, I want you to read illustration number 2 and I will have a break. It's 8:27 now. I will have a break for let's say 15 minutes or 14 minutes and I'll come back at 8:41. I want you guys to answer this question, right? I'll come after break. I'll quickly solve this question. Okay? Yes?
Yes.
friends, Mr. X has 100% investment in A Limited, so Mr. X has a control on A, and Mr. X is also KMP on C, and B is a parent of C, right? Examine related party relationship from the perspective of C Limited for A Limited, right? So first of all, whether C Limited and A Limited are the related party. What is the relation? What is the common connect between C Limited and A Limited? So C Limited is having a subsidiary B Limited, and C Limited is having a subsidiary B Limited, and B Limited, in the B Limited, there is a KMP who is controlling A Limited, right? Who is controlling A Limited. So the KMP of B is controlling A Limited. So this is how C Limited and A Limited are connected. This is how C Limited and A Limited are connected. So tell me here, the transaction between A Limited and C Limited will be a related party transaction? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
It will be yes.
Yes, sir.
A Limited is related to C Limited because Mr. X controls A Limited and is a member of KMP of C Limited, right? And is a member of KMP of C Limited. You remember recently we discussed this? You remember? So the diagram which I have shown you, I have shown you independent diagram. Mr. A. Mr. A is a KMP of A Limited. A Limited is having a control over B Limited. So Mr. A is a KMP of A as well as B, both, right? But when Mr. A is a KMP, Mr. A is a KMP of B, whether he will be automatically constituted as a KMP of A? Answer is no. In that case, no, right? But here, if you look at A Limited and C Limited, so Mr. X is controlling A Limited, and Mr. X is a member of KMP of C Limited also, right? Mr. X is a member of KMP of C Limited. How Mr. X is a member of KMP of C Limited? How? Because if you see the diagram, Mr. X has a 100% investment in A, and Mr. X, B Limited is having a 100% investment in C Limited, right? And Mr. X is a KMP in C Limited, right? तो Mr. X is a KMP in C Limited, मतलब इस B Limited के अंदर जो KMP है, he is controlling A Limited also. Are you getting me or not?
Yes, sir.
So the KMP of the member of the group is controlling A Limited, right? Is controlling A Limited. C being a parent of C है ना B का parent. B Limited has, sorry, B Limited has 100% investment in C. So B being a parent of C, B can influence Mr. X, who is a KMP of C, right? And B Limited can influence Mr. X, who is a KMP of C, to take some decisions in A Limited. Indirectly, B can influence A Limited also, indirectly, right? So in this case, if you look at A Limited is related to C Limited. Why? Because X control A Limited and X is also a member of the KMP of C Limited. Is that clear? Saminathan, any doubt here?
No, sir. Clear, sir.
Clear? Okay. What is the second question? Examine related party relationship from the perspective of C Limited for A Limited if Mr. X is a KMP of B and not C. मतलब the relationship you need to examine from C Limited for A Limited, right? So Mr. X is a KMP in C and Mr. X is controlling A Limited. So here A and C Limited both are the related party, right? But he is saying, this question is saying, if Mr. X is KMP of B, not C, then also it will be related party. Why? Because KMP of the parent is also related to the entity, right? So in this case, still A Limited will be related to C Limited. How? Mr. X is controlling A Limited. Mr. X is KMP of the B Limited and B Limited has a subsidiary C Limited. So in this case, A Limited and C Limited both are the related party. Both are related to each other. A, B, C both are related to each other. Right? Now, will the outcome in A and B would be different if Mr. X has joint control over A Limited? Instead of control, if it will become joint control, then the answer would be different.
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
Answer will be same. For control, joint control, answer is same. Answer would be different if it will be associate, if it will be significant influence, right? Then answer would be different. Otherwise, there is no different answer. So no, still A Limited will be related to C Limited. Now, will the outcome in A and B would be different if Mr. X has significant influence over A Limited? Mr. X does not have a joint control over A Limited. Mr. X has a significant influence over A Limited. मैंने
Then
अभी
they are
डायग्राम में
not
बताया था.
related, sir.
Yes,
In this case, no, sir. There is a
Not
no
related.
related party transaction, a relationship.
yes, yes. A Limited is not controlled by Mr. X. Therefore, despite Mr. X being KMP of C Limited, A Limited having significant influence of Mr. X will not be considered as a related party of C Limited. So they are not related party with each other, right? They are not related party with each other. I hope it is very much clear to all of you.
Yes, sir. Very much clear,
Clear?
sir.
Yes. Now, friends, we discussed two questions from the study material. Now, let's move to the last two relationship. Yes, this is little complex and typical. The entity or any member of a group, the entity or any member of the group. Who is a member of the group? Who is considered
Parent,
as a member of the group?
parent, subsidiary, fellow subsidiary.
Parent, subsidiary, and fellow subsidiary. They are considered as a member of the group. And subsidiary includes associate and joint venture of subsidiaries also. Right? The entity or any member of a group of which it is a part, okay, provides KMP services to the reporting entity or to the parent of the reporting entity. Any entity or any group of which this entity is a part, okay, any entity or any group of which this entity is a part, it provides KMP services to the reporting entity or to the parent of the reporting entity. Have you heard about CFO virtual services? Have you heard about virtual CFO?
Yes, sir. In auditing, we had it. There is one
Yeah.
uh,
So
central
virtual
government.
CFO. So what is meant by virtual CFO? There are a lot of CF firms. It is one of the new arena of practice. When you become a chartered accountant and when you get into the practice, so the CFOs are very expensive, right? If an organization will hire a CFO, at least it will take around minimum a crore rupees, minimum a crore, right? 1 crore minimum. So instead of hiring a CFO, all these startup companies, because they are on the toes of the cost, right? They are just evolving. All these startup companies, mid-sized startup, instead of hiring a full-fledged CFO, what they do? They hire a CA firm or they hire the consulting firms, consulting companies who are providing them virtual CFO services. Virtual CFO services means they are not hired as a CFO, but they are doing all the work which a CFO has to do. They are taking strategic decision. They are presenting MIS to the board, right? They are verifying the financial statement. They are ensuring that the compliance has to happen. So they are managing all the affairs which a typically CFO has to do, right? So what it is saying? It is saying an entity, for example, X Limited, or a group, a group, a group could be like fellow subsidiary of X Limited, like Y Limited. So any entity or a group of which this entity is a part, right? So if X and Y are fellow subsidiaries, they are part of the same group or not? They are
Yes,
part of
sir.
the same group. They are part of the same group. If X and Y are fellow subsidiaries, they are part of the same group. So either X is providing a CFO advisory services or Y is providing a CFO advisory services, right? To a reporting entity or to the parent of a reporting entity, right? Means entity P or the entity Q. Okay. So then these two different entities will become related to each other. These two entities will be related to each other, right? Let's understand with the help of an example. Situation 1. X Limited is parent of Y Limited. So Y Limited is subsidiary of X Limited, right? So here Y Limited is a reporting entity. Who is Y Limited? Reporting entity. Z Limited, another company, Z Limited provides KMP services. Z Limited provide KMP services to whom? Either X Limited or either Y Limited. Z Limited is providing KMP services to either X Limited or Y Limited. Okay, friends. In this case, Z, who is providing the KMP services to either Y or either X, this Z will become related party of X Limited as well as Y Limited both. This Z will become a related party of X and Y both, right? Is that clear? Clear, not
Yes,
clear?
sir.
Situation number 2. X is a parent, Y is a subsidiary, Y is a reporting entity. Now, instead of Z, a subsidiary of Z, who is a SJ Limited, provides KMP services to X or Y. Now tell me, the subsidiary of Z and Z, both are member of the same group or not?
Yes, sir. Same group.
Same group. Parent subsidiary, fellow subsidiary are member of the same group. Okay. Both are member of the same group. So, subsidiary of Z, okay, and Z, they are member of the same group. A subsidiary of Z Limited, which is SZ Limited, provides KMP services to X Limited or Y Limited. Okay. So friends, in this case, this Z and SZ, both the entity are related party of X and Y both, right? Have you understood it? So it doesn't matter if any entity or any group entity is providing a KMP services to another entity or the parent of that entity, all become related to each other. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Very much clear.
Yes, sir. Very much.
Thank you so much. So thank you so much means I'm not ending the session. Okay. Yes. So we have covered all these aspects, my dear friends. And so moving further, some special consideration. Let's discuss and then we'll do some practice question further. Associate includes subsidiaries of associate and joint venture includes subsidiaries of joint venture also, right? So if an associate is a related party, the subsidiary of that associate will automatically will become a related party. And if a JV will become a related party, the subsidiary of JV will automatically become a related party, right? You need to look at the substance of the relationship and not merely the legal form to be considered for evaluating related party relationship. Now let me ask you a question on this part. A Limited is having 65% stake in B Limited. Whether A Limited has a control over B Limited?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Of course, yes. Yes. Now, government has found some anomalies in the financial statement of B Limited. So government interfered and government put the bar on A Limited that A Limited will not exercise its power over B Limited. A Limited will not be able to exercise its power over B Limited. Okay. So A Limited cannot take any relevant activity related decisions on B Limited. Have you covered Ind AS 110 consolidated financial statement?
Yes, sir.
Lavanya, have you covered?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So while A Limited is having a 65% stake on B Limited, but government put a restriction on exercising any power over B Limited, on taking any decisions on the relevant activities of B Limited. Tell me whether A Limited controls B Limited now, whether A Limited will consolidate B Limited, whether B is a subsidiary of A Limited.
No, sir. It's not having the control.
Why?
Even though it has the more than 51% of shares, there is a control is not there. In this case, the consolidation will not happen.
Yes, consolidation will not happen, and of course it is not a control. Why? Because control includes power over the investee, right? Exposure or right to variable returns, and ability to use the power to effect investees returns, B Limited returns. So in this case, A Limited was stopped by the government. A Limited cannot exercise any power, and hence in this case, so you going by the substance, A and B Limited are not parent and subsidiary because A is not controlling. Going by the substance. Is that clear? समझ आ गया ये? The following are not considered as a related party. Two entity if they have a director or other member of KMP in common. A Limited is a KMP. Sorry, Mr. Ram is a KMP of AG Limited. Mr. Ram is also KMP of BG Limited. Whether AG and BG are related party? No. Just because of a common KMP, these two entity will not become a related party, right? If a KMP, so Mr. Ram has a significant influence over AG Limited, and Mr. Ram is a KMP of BG Limited. Whether AG and BG will be related party? Answer is no. If a person or an entity has a significant influence over another entity, and this person or entity is a KMP of the other entity, these two entities will not become a related party. We discussed this. Two venturers having joint control over a joint venture. Very important, and here people make a mistake. The point number 3. Myself and Saminathan decided to open a joint venture. Saminathan told, sir, can we open the coaching center in Chennai? I said yes. So Saminathan told, sir, we'll open Alok Saminathan Private Limited Coaching Center. I said okay. So Saminathan is the joint owner of that coaching center, and I'm also the joint co-owner of that coaching center. So that coaching center, AS Coaching Classes Private Limited, is a joint venture of myself and Saminathan, right? We are the venturer of that coaching center. Now tell me whether myself and Saminathan are related party just because we have invested in a common project.
No, sir.
Panya. Whether the two
No,
venturers
sir.
will become a
No,
related
sir.
party? Answer is no. You know why no? Why no? You will find in lot of projects, the private limited entities create a joint venture with the government entities like Indian Oil and Adani. They have a joint venture. Indian Oil is a public sector undertaking, right? In Indian Oil Corporation Limited, who are the owner of Indian Oil Corporation Limited? Who are the promoters? Government. Government are the promoter. It is a PSU. It is a public sector undertaking. And who are the promoter of Adani?
It's
What?
Adani. Hmm.
Adani family, Gautam Adani and the family, not the government, right? It's a Gautam Adani and family. They are the promoters, and of course, public. Both are the listed companies. Of course, public stake is also there. But who are the promoter? For Indian Oil, government. For Adani, Gautam Adani and the family. So they created Adani Indian Oil Gas Private Limited, a joint venture. Adani and Indian Oil. So just by creating a joint venture, whether these two entities will become a related party, these are the two joint venturer. Just by investing or by creating a common project, whether these two entities will become a related party.
No.
अगर ऐसा होगा, for example, if Adani and the if this clause would not have been there, then Adani and Indian Oil, if they would have become a related party, then all the government entities, because of the common stake, because where parent is common, all the government entity will become the related party of Adani Enterprises Limited, right? So all Adani entity, all government entity, everybody is related party, right? So just because a joint venture is common, a project is common, the venturer cannot become a related party. Okay. Provider of finance, trade unions, public utility department, agency of government that does not control, jointly control, or significantly influence the reporting entity. In factories, the worker unions are there, the trade unions are there, right? In the business, the trade unions are there. Are they related party? Income tax department, GST department, public utilities, Delhi Jal Board, are they related party? Answer is no, they are not related party. They will become a related party if they will have a control, joint control, or significant influence over the entity. Right? Right? A government will become a related party when government has invested in those entities. For example, a government is a related party to the Indian Oil, to the PSU companies, ONGC, GAIL. Okay? A customer, supplier, franchisor, distributor, or general agent. A company has biggest customer. There was a company and 30% of the sales are made to a single customer. 30% of the sales are made to a single customer. Whether that single customer is a related party to this entity?
No, sir.
Answer is no. And my dear friends who are listening this India's 24 session right now, or who will listen this session on a recorded channel, so let me clarify. The question will put all the efforts to trap you, to dilute you. You know what question will do? Question will say that A Limited is a company. A Limited is a company which is into the manufacturing of a particular goods, right? A Limited is the sole supplier of those goods. A Limited has a customer. A Limited has a customer, AB Limited. Okay. And this AB Limited is completely dependent upon the supplies by A Limited. And this AB Limited and this A Limited is also dependent on AB Limited. Why? Because 50% of the production is consumed by AB Limited, right? If AB Limited would not have been there, A Limited will be having losses because A Limited will not be able to sell the entire product. See, so the question will give you 5-6 lines where the question will influence you that in this world, on this planet, if A and AB Limited has to exist, they have to exist together. And they are dependent on each other. Right. So in this case, 75% of the students will write yes, A Limited and AB Limited are related parties. Okay. Why I'm saying 75%? 25% people will not dilute. 25% the student will not dilute. Why? Because they have a very strong knowledge on the financial reporting. So on their DNA, it was printed. Listen, a customer, franchisor, supplier, distributor, they cannot be a related party. Doesn't matter. They are even selling, purchasing 100% output. But 75% of the people will think, oh, yes, they are dependent on each other. And if he will not exist, he will not exist. And he is one of the biggest consumer. So it means his decision can also influence, he can influence the price, this, that. And they will cook the story in their mind to convince, yes, it is a related party, which is wrong. Are you agree with me or agree to disagree?
Yes, sir. Agreed, sir.
सो
Agreed, sir.
ये क्वेश्चन में ना क्वेश्चन आपको जाल बिछा के आपको फंसाने की कोशिश करेगा, राइट? बट डोंट गेट इनटू द ट्रैप ऑफ दैट क्वेश्चन. ऑलवेज रिमेंबर, अ कस्टमर, सप्लायर, फ्रेंचाइजर, डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर, एजेंट with whom an entity transacts a significant volume of business doesn't matter, right? Simply by virtue of resulting economic dependence, right? It will not be a related party. Okay. Disclosure, important to understand two aspect where practical in the practical life entities are also making errors. Friends, we have a huge list of related party. We have seen that. Okay. So friends, in terms of disclosures, what are the four type of disclosure I have told you in the beginning of the session, and I have reiterated it so many times. What are the four types of disclosures? What are the
Name
four
of the
types of
related
disclosure?
party.
Sir,
Yeah.
name,
Name, relationship,
relationship, transaction,
transaction,
outstanding, commitment.
outstanding balance.
Name of related party, right? So name of related party. Number two,
Relationship,
relationship. Relationship with the related party. Number three, transaction with the
transaction,
related party. Number four, outstanding balances with the
outstanding.
related party. And commitments with the related party, right? Name, relationship, transaction, outstanding balance, and commitments. Okay. And commitments. Now coming back to here. These are the disclosure which we have to make. Now, have you seen the Reliance Industries annual report? Have you seen ITC Limited annual report? Have you seen? So let me show you one of the annual report. Just hold on for a minute. Just hold on for a minute. Let me open a related party disclosure report from a real life example. Should I show you or I should not show you?
Yes, sir,
दिखाऊं ना
please.
दिखाऊं? दिखाऊं? Okay. So just a minute. Index 24. Yeah. So let me show you the related party extract from Bajaj Auto Limited, right? If you see this, you will find they have disclosed subsidiaries. What they have disclosed? They have disclosed subsidiaries, okay? Name of the related party, nature of relationship, transaction, right? Outstanding balances and commitment will come at the bottom if any, right? So they have given the lot of name of subsidiaries, lot of transactions are there, right? They have so many subsidiaries. Then associate, joint venture and investing parties, okay? Then KMP and their relatives, like Rajiv Bajaj is a managing director of Bajaj Auto and their relative also, okay? Then executive directors and others. So they have given this list, relatives and other entities or person like employee benefit plan, independent director, entities where person under Ind AS 24 para 9A hold significant influence, control, joint control or act as a KMP. कौन सा है ये? I have given you three bucket in the person. A person who is having a control, joint control, significant influence or act as a KMP and their relative. So a lot of companies came here. If you see, a lot of companies came here, right? So you can see this running disclosure. So many companies are there. So many names are there. Okay. So many names are there. Right? Clear? Clear? So my friend, my dear friends, now the point is whether this is the exhaustive related party list, whether Bajaj Auto is having only the three page related party, answer is no, they have more related parties than this. Sir, then why they have not given all the related party? Why they have not given all the related party?
Sir,
Right.
when there is no transaction, then no need to disclose all this thing. But name is important.
Yes. So you're absolutely right, Saminathan. So my dear friends, remember, number one, you are always required to disclose parent and subsidiary. Parent and subsidiary relationship means doesn't matter if a parent does not have any transaction with the related party, still the parent has to give the name of subsidiaries. Or doesn't matter if subsidiary does not have any transaction with the parent, still the subsidiary is required to give the name of the parent. The subsidiary is required to give the name of the parent, right? Name and relationship. So parent and subsidiary relationship is required to be disclosed, right? Is required to be disclosed irrespective whether the transaction is there or transaction may not be there. But tell me one thing, between a parent and subsidiary, even though if the transaction is not there, whether any outstanding balances will be there. This is your interview question. What answer you will give?
Yes, sir. Way of investment is there, right?
If a parent is a parent, it means parent is having a investment in subsidiary and invest in subsidiary is having a share capital which is held by parent. So they always have a they always have a they always have this investment in the share capital. They always having the investment in the share capital. They always, right? So doesn't matter transaction is there or not. The parent subsidiary relationships has to be disclosed. Other than parent and subsidiary, what about other than parent and subsidiary?
If they have transactions, then they have to
Other than
disclose.
parent and subsidiary, you are only required to disclose name of related party, relationship with the related party, right? And transaction outstanding balances commitment if they have transactions, right? If there is no transaction, there is no any requirement to disclose the name of related party, relationship, transaction, balances, commitment. No. Okay. I hope it is clear to everyone. And we have discussed what we need to disclose. For the KMP part, it is again very important. Key managerial personnel. So we understood who is a KMP, but what disclosures are required in terms of KMP? क्या डिस्क्लोजर चाहिए KMP में? In terms of KMP, you are required to disclose short-term employee benefit. In Ind AS 19, have you covered Ind AS 19?
Yes, sir. Employee benefits.
Yes, sir.
You guys have covered. What are the four kind of benefits in Ind AS 19? What are the four kinds of benefits in Ind AS 19?
Short-term employee benefits, post-employment benefits, other long-term benefits, and termination benefits.
Very good, Lavanya. So short-term, post-employment, long-term, and your termination benefit. Short-term benefits like remuneration on a regular basis, on a monthly basis. What is post-employment benefit? Gratuity, which will be
Pension.
payable after employment. What is other long-term benefit? Leave encashment. Okay, leave encashment. What is termination benefit? Notice period pay or retrenchment compensation. These are the termination benefit. Okay. And one more employee benefit is there, which is not covered under Ind AS 19, but covered under Ind AS 102. What is that? What is that employee benefit?
Share-based payments.
Share-based payments, ESOP, right? So all these KMP compensation has to be bifurcated into five parts. Which five parts? Which five parts? Short-term employee benefits, post-employment benefits, ESOP, right? ESOP and long-term employee, other long-term employee benefits, termination benefit. So termination benefit generally will not be there. In few cases it may be there, not necessarily in every cases it will be there, right? Okay. So short-term employee benefit, post-employment benefits, these may be there always. Okay. So for example, if we look at the Bajaj Auto, can you see the KMP? Can you see the KMP disclosure?
Yes, sir.
Short-term employee benefit,
Yes.
post-employment benefit, and then some other also rent paid, deposit paid. So whatever transaction is there, it has to be disclosed. But in terms of remuneration, you can see short-term and post-employment. You can also see for this Mr. Pradeep Srivastava, who is executive director, short-term employee benefit, post-employment benefit, and ESOP, equity share issued, ESOP issued. Okay. So you are required to disclose this way. You are required to disclose this way. Okay. So these are the things, and these numbers are in crores. See, when you become a chartered accountant and a great chartered accountant, see the number. He is drawing 27 crore salary, 1 crore rupees of post-employment benefit, and he is having a shares of 10.5 crore. These are the remunerations. Okay. And even the CFO remuneration is also too high nowadays. And who will become a CFO? Who will become a CFO? CFO कौन बनता है? A chartered accountant will become a CFO. Chartered accountant ही तो CFO बनेगा और कौन बनेगा? Right? Chartered accountant will become a CFO and his salary will also be in crores. Okay. So friends, we covered this part. Comparison perspective, Ind AS, AS not much relevant, but Ind AS 24 is a detailed standard while AS 18 is a comparatively smaller standard. Like AS 18 use the word relative, but Ind AS 24 use the word close member of the family, right? AS 18 only covers KMP of the entity. Ind AS covers KMP of the parent of the entity, right? So these are few disclosure which more disclosures are there. This is one of the, you can see this is one of the disclosures from an annual report. Okay. Now, friends, let's move further. Let's move further and discuss some questions from the study material. Let's discuss some questions from the study material. Just a minute. Please let me know once study material is visible to all of you. Is it visible to all of you?
Yes,
Illustration
sir.
number 3. Person as an investor. Mr. X has an investment in A Limited and B Limited. Mr. X, he is having an investment in A and B. Required, examine when can related party relationship can be established from the perspective of A Limited financial statement, from the perspective of B Limited financial statement. Tell me when Mr. X will become a related party to A Limited and when Mr. X will become a related party of B Limited. That is the question. Tell me what could be the answer. Tell me what could be the answer. If somebody has an investment in other entity, so basically yesterday, Sailendra, I have invested and I have acquired 1,000 shares of Reliance Industries Limited. Am I become a related party of Reliance Industries Limited? And Saminathan has purchased 10 shares of Reliance Industries Limited. Lavanya has purchased 20 shares of Reliance Industries Limited. So we all three become a related party of Reliance Industries Limited because we are the shareholder, we have purchased shares.
No, sir.
It means just because a person has an investment in an entity, that person will not become a related party, right? याद रहेगा ना ये?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If just because of the investment one can become a related party, probably I would have been the related party of 50 big companies in India. Okay. Everywhere you will see my name Alok Garg, Alok Garg, Alok Garg, Alok Garg in all the annual report, right? So it means one thing is clear. Just because having an investment does not make you a related party. When one can become a related party, A person can become a related party if that person is having a
Control.
control
Control or
or
joint control.
Joint
joint
control.
control or
Associate. It should be
Significant
significant
influence.
influence
KMP of the
or
entity
become
or
a
parent
KMP of
entity.
that entity. Alok Garg has acquired 1,000 shares in Reliance and joined as a CFO of Reliance Industries Limited. Now, whether Alok Garg become a related party to the Reliance now?
Yes, sir.
Why?
KMP.
Because of
yes, yes.
shares? No, because
No,
of KMP.
CFO.
KMP.
KMP.
Because of CFO, because of KMP, because of KMP relationship, right? So this is what the question asks you. The question is asked, Mr. X has invested in A and B. So please help us. In what circumstances in A's financial statement and the B's financial statement, this Mr. X will become a related party? Then you have to write in four circumstances that Mr. X controls, joint controls, significant influence, and Mr. X becomes a KMP. Then only Mr. X become a related party, otherwise not. Second, will A limited and B limited. Now it is talking about entities, not that person. That person will become a related party when joint control, significant influence, KMP. Now it is asking whether A and B will become a related party if Mr. X has only significant influence over A and B. Mr. X has a significant influence over A, Mr. X has a significant influence over B.
No, sir, not
No, sir.
related.
No. If two entities are having, if two entities, if an entity is having a significant influence on two different entities, those two different entities will not become a related party. Third, from my side, will A limited and B limited will become a related party if Mr. X jointly controls A limited as well as B limited?
Yes, sir, then they are related.
Yes, yes, yes. So if two different entities are jointly controlled by a particular entity, a common entity, so these two fellow joint venture will become a related party. Right? We discussed now?
Yes.
Okay. So I hope we covered these three questions. We covered all the relationship with the example also. So on every case, we discussed with the example, not only with the statement. Even where related parties will not be covered, like substance over form relationship we discussed now, customer, franchisor, supplier. So each and every concept, my dear friend, we discussed with the help of an example. Okay. So if you read this, if you listen this entire lecture, your automatically revision will get covered. Illustration number 4. Partial exemption for government related entities. What is the exemption to government related entities? Let's discuss one of the special case, right? So friends, these government related entities. So when government is doing something, when government is engaged into a relationship, right? For example, government becomes a shareholder, becomes a promoter of public sector undertaking. Okay, then what happened? Government being a government, they took a lot of sensitive decisions also. They took a lot of decisions. So just because of this Ind AS 24 related party disclosures, this standard has given some exemption to the government considering the sensitivity and the confidentiality. Okay. Now, what is that exemption? Let me tell you with the help of this example, this illustration. Government G directly control Government G directly control entity 1 and entity 2. So government is the owner of entity 1 and entity 2. It indirectly controls entity A and entity B through entity 1 and entity 2. So basically and it indirectly controls entity A and entity B through entity 1 and entity C and entity D through entity 2. So this is a government. This government has two subsidiaries, A and B, sorry, 1 and 2. And this 1 is controlling step subsidiary A and B, and 2 is controlling C and D. So how many total subsidiaries this government has? 2 direct subsidiary and
Four fellow
four
subsidiary.
indirect subsidiary. 4 subsidiary. So this government has two children, And how many grandchildren?
4.
Four grandchildren. Person X is a member of KMP in entity 1. In the first entity, which is directly controlled by the government, right? So person X become the CFO of entity 1. In the government entity, whether all the people are government people? No, like me, you, Lavanya, Rahul, Selendra. So we can join these government companies, right? And we can leave also. Okay. So we can join any PSU like institute in when you complete your CA final and you appear for campus round. This Indian Oil Corporation, ONGC, GAIL, lot of public sector undertaking are coming in this campus interviews. Okay. So friends, person X is a member of KMP in entity 1. Okay. Examine the entity to whom the exemption for disclosure to be given and for transaction with whom. So there is a government. Government has 2 kids and government has 4 grandkids. One of the kid, entity 1, is having a KMP. What is the question? What is the ask of the question? The ask of the question is you need to tell the entities to whom the exemption for disclosure is provided by the standard and for transaction with whom. For example, if standard says that the government entity like entity 1 and 2, they are exempted for disclosures. Are they exempted for disclosure with all the entities or only with the government? Right. For example, this entity one is paying 2 crore rupees to an outsider chartered accountant who become the CFO of this company. Right. So this CFO is a KMP of that entity 1. And this entity 1 is also doing some transaction with the government. And government is the owner, government is the promoter, owner, government is the parent holding company, right? So whether this entity 1 is exempted or not, the first question. The second question, if entity 1 is exempted, whether entity 1 is exempted for disclosing all the related party transaction, which is including the transaction with government, transaction with KMP, or this entity is exempted only for disclosing the government transactions. What is your view? क्या होना चाहिए?
So
Sir,
transaction with the
I think
government is
only for
wholly exempted to
government.
disclosure.
Technically, the transaction with only government, right? The transaction with government, right? So basically, either government or government related entities. For example, government is having a stake in entity 1 and entity 2. Okay. So now government will say that please sell your manganese ore, please sell your bauxite, please sell your mineral to another entity, right? To entity 2, entity B, entity C, entity D, right? So these transactions may be exempted for disclosure. So transaction with government and government entities are exempted from disclosure, but transaction with KMP are not exempted for disclosure. Those transactions are required to be disclosed. Okay. So friends, this is what it is written here. If you see, this is government G and this government G has a direct control over entity 1 and 2. Entity 1 has a direct control over A and B and C and D. So these 6 entities are the government entities. Okay. And Mr. X is a KMP. Mr. X is a KMP. Okay. So Mr. X is a KMP of entity 1. Mr. X is a KMP of entity 1. So for entity A financial statement, the exemption applies to transaction with government. So if entity A is having any transaction with government, it is exempted. And entity A's transaction with entity 1, entity 2, B, C, and D, these are also exempted. But the exemption does not apply to transaction with person X. It does not applies to transaction person X. Is that clear? Clear or
Yes,
not
sir.
clear?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Illustration number 5. Power Limited is a producer of electricity. This Power Limited is a company and they are into the production of electricity. Transmission Limited regularly purchase electricity from Power Limited. So who is Transmission Limited? What is the relation of transmission and power after reading these two lines?
It's a purchase
So power is supplier, transmission is customer.
customer.
Power Limited, whose financial year ends on 31st March 2002, acquired 100% shareholding of Transmission Limited on 15 July 2001. So the financial year end is 20x1 to 20x2, 1st April to 31st March. And Power Limited acquires shareholding of transmission on 15th July 2001. Means effective from 15th July 2001, this power will become a parent of transmission. And transmission will become a subsidiary of power. What about 1st April to 14th of July?
Only relation with customer
Customer
relation.
and supplier
So
relation.
only customer relationship, but from 15th of July, it will enter into a parent subsidiary relationship also. However, the entire shareholding is disposed of on March 21, 20x2. However, the entire shareholding is disposed of on March 21, 20x2. So 15th July, shareholding acquired, and 21st March shareholding disposed of.
Disposed.
So for full year, this power is not the parent of transmission. Transmission is not the subsidiary of power. They are into the relationship only during part of the year, which is 15 July to 21st March. Only part of the year. Right? Power and transmission had transactions when transmission was a subsidiary of power. So that this transmission was always a customer of power. And from 15 July to 21st March, of course, they have also entered into some transactions. And also in the period when it was not a subsidiary of power, as I told you, from 1st April to 31st March, this transmission is the customer of power and power is the supplier of transmission. Right, from 1st April to 31st March. And from 1st April to 31st March, between 15 July to 21st March, between 15 July to 21st March, it will become a parent subsidiary relationship also. For which period related party disclosure should Power Limited make in its financial statement for the year ended 31st March 2002 with respect to transaction with Transmission Limited? Assuming, let me give you some numbers. This transmission has purchased a power from purchase electricity from Power Limited for 1200 crores in a year. And out of 1200 crores, 800 crores pertains to the period 15 July to 21st March. Tell me what amount has to be disclosed as a related party transaction?
800 crore.
800 crores.
So you are absolutely right. Related party transactions are those transactions which have been incurred when it is a related party. When it is a related party. Right? So when it was a related party, not for the full year, but only from 15 July to 21st March. Okay. So 800 crores has to be 800 crores of rupee of transaction has to be disclosed as a related party transaction. Now, the disclosure is not only related party transaction, the disclosure is outstanding balances also. Now, let's say on 31st March 20x2, 450 crore rupees of outstanding is there, which is to be receivable from Transmission Limited in the books of Power Limited. Transaction we understood 800 crores. What is the outstanding balances which we are going to disclose?
Sir, whatever the outstanding, we have to report it.
Tell me, outstanding balances at which date?
Sir,
Samina. 31st March. Balances outstanding will be 31st March, no?
Yes, sir. Balance will be outstanding at 31st March. But however, the 1,000 to 1,200 crore was there, out of which how much was received? Only the 800 crore. What is the outstanding? Exactly. We need to report it.
Saminathan, let me ask you
sir,
a question. Yeah, Lavanya, please.
but I think as on 31st March, they don't have any relationship, no, sir. So I think outstanding balance is not required to be reported.
You are absolutely right. And for Saminathan, let me ask you a different question. So you guys have covered Ind AS 110 consolidation. Now, if I would have been teaching you Ind AS 110 or examiner will ask you the same question, the second part examiner will ask you, tell me which period financial statement needs to be considered for the consolidation of Power Limited. I mean to say the balance sheet, P&L, cash flow. So whether the balance sheet of transmission is taken for the consolidation, whether P&L for transmission is taken for the consolidation as per Ind AS 110, tell me.
Yes, sir. In this case, yes, sir. Because even though it is a temporary control, we need to consider as a consolidation.
Okay, so P&L for which period you will consider?
Yeah, from 15th July to 31st March. Uh,
21st March or 31st March?
sir, to 21st March.
Till the time it was a subsidiary, right?
Yes, sir.
So 15 July to 21st March. Balance sheet of this subsidiary is on 31st March, Saminathan. Will you consolidate the balance sheet numbers also line by line? Answer is no, Saminathan. So when there is a subsidiary and that subsidiary disposed of during the year, only P&L and cash flow balances needs to be consolidated for that period till it was a subsidiary. The balance sheet balances are not going to be consolidated on 31st March. No. As per Ind AS 110. Likewise, like Lavanya told, on 31st March, whatever balance is outstanding, it is not sharing any relationship. Okay. So only P&L balance from 15 July to 21st March, this transaction only needs to be captured. The outstanding balances will not going to be captured. Okay. As a related party, outstanding balances. Is that clear? Is that
Yes,
clear?
sir. Yes, sir. I
Likewise,
think,
under Ind
yeah.
AS 110, balance sheet is never consolidated. Only P&L balances are going to be consolidated till the time it was a subsidiary. Okay.
Yes, sir. My mistake. I read it as a March 21, 31st. I
Okay.
consider that's a problem
No,
for me.
no
I,
problem. No
now I
problem.
realized it. Thank you.
No problem. So, just a minute. A Limited has both joint control over B Limited and joint control or significant influence over C Limited. Examine related party relationship from the perspective of C Limited financial statement and B Limited financial statement. A Limited has a joint control over B Limited and has a joint control over C Limited. Whether all these three entities are related party or not.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
C
fellow
limited.
fellow joint venture and of course venturer. These entities are related party. A Limited has a joint control over B Limited. A Limited has a significant influence over C Limited. One joint control, one significant influence. Whether these two entities are related party, of course these are
Yes,
related
sir.
party. These two, yes. If A Limited has a significant influence over B Limited, significant influence over C Limited, whether B and C are related party, no. In
Not
that case,
related.
right? So for being a related party, so at least control or joint control has to be there at least in one entity. Okay, right? Just a minute. Let me discuss this question. Question number 4. Mr. Atul is an independent director of a company X Limited. Mr. Atul is an independent director, means KMP. He plays a vital role in the management of X Limited and contribute in major decision-making process of the organization. He is a KMP, okay? X Limited pays sitting fees of 2 lakh rupee to him for every board meeting he attends. Throughout the year, X Limited had 5 such meetings which was attended by Atul. Whether Mr. Atul is a KMP of X Limited? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, because he is playing the vital role.
Yes. And he is an independent director. So executive, non-executive all are covered. And what is the transaction with Mr. Atul by this company?
Only sitting fees.
Sitting
Sitting
fee.
fees they are paying. Okay. So till now they are paying sitting fees. So 2 lakh rupee for every meeting, 10 lakh rupee for 5 meeting. Okay. So this is the related party transaction. Let's move further. Similarly, a non-executive director, Mr. Naveen, also attended 5 board meeting and charged 1,50,000 rupees per meeting. Okay. So non-executive director, Mr. Naveen. Whether Mr. Naveen is a KMP?
No,
Yes,
sir.
sir. KMP only, sir.
Hmm.
Even executive or non-executive directors
Swaminathan,
are
in the KMP definition, it is written that whether executive or non-executive, it is written there, whether executive or otherwise. Okay. So it doesn't matter he is a non-executive director, right? He is also a KMP. Okay. So now Mr. Naveen attended 5 board meeting and charged 150 per meeting. So Mr. Naveen is also a KMP and 7.5 lakh is the amount. The accountant of X Limited believes that they being not the employee of the organization, their fee should not be disclosed as per related party transaction in accordance with Ind AS 24. Examine whether the sitting fee paid to independent director and non-executive director is required to be disclosed in the financial statement prepared as per Ind AS. We have already answered, right? The accountant is thinking they are not the
yes,
employee,
sir.
they are not the CEO, CFO, so their sitting fees should not be disclosed as a related party transaction. The accountant is not right. The accountant is not a chartered accountant. Okay. So what it says that now let's discuss the answer. As per paragraph 9 of Ind AS 24, KMP are those person having authority responsibility for planning, directing, controlling the activity of the entity directly, indirectly, including any director, Saminathan, whether executive or otherwise of that entity, whether executive or non-executive of that entity. Okay. Accordingly, KMP includes any director of the entity who are having authority and responsibility for planning, directing, and controlling the activity of the entity. Hence, independent director Mr. Atul and non-executive director Mr. Naveen are covered under the definition of KMP under Ind AS. As per paragraph 7 and 9 of Ind AS 19, an employee may provide. It is not only about employee is not someone who is only providing the full-time service. Now, Ind AS 19, what says, what is the definition of employee? An employee may provide service to an entity on a full-time, part-time, permanent, casual, temporary basis. For the purpose of the standard, employee includes director and other management personnel also. Therefore, contention of the accountant is wrong that they are not employees of X Limited. Hence they should be reported as a related party. Further, paragraph 17 of Ind AS requires disclosure about employee benefits for KMP. Therefore, an entity shall disclose KMP compensation in total 10 lakh plus 7.5 lakh is to be made as a employee benefits. Since short-term employee benefit are expected to be settled wholly before 12 months, after the end of the annual reporting period in which the employee render the related services, sitting fee paid to director will fall under short-term employee benefit and is required to be disclosed in accordance with paragraph 17 of Ind AS 24. Is that clear to you guys? Is that clear or not clear?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Very much clear. So friends, we covered around 6 questions from the study material and we covered examples at every point, every aspect of Ind AS 24. And my dear friends, we also covered the entire concept of Ind AS 24. If you have any question, please let me know. I hope since it was titled as a revisionary session, but was it a revisionary session or was it a full session? Tell me.
Hmm. Full session, sir.
It was a full session, more than a full session, I would say. Even in my full session, I have not covered so many, practical questions from the study material. Okay. But yes, examples were there, questions were there, so many questions were there. But today I have covered even more. Okay. Right. Any question, Lavanya?
No, sir, clear, sir.
What is the examination tip I have given to you guys? Number one,
Drawing
please
the picture
Diagram.
of the
draw the
relationship.
diagram. So exam tips. Solve first through diagram. Please draw the diagram. Okay. And always remember the concept like customer, supplier, franchisor, distributor, common director, common KMP, a person having significant influence in two entities. These will not become automatically, these will not become a related party entity. Okay. Right. These two entities will not become a related party entity. Okay. So just remember the core concept. Okay. Look at the substance. Okay. Draw the diagram. 100% you will be able to sail through in Index 24. Very few relationships. So basically paragraph 9 talks about two things. One, it talks about person. Other one, it talks about entity, right? So just remember who is a person, who is an entity, and who are the close family members. Close family members. Who are the relatives? Parents, spouse, brother and sister, children. Okay. And when I say children, children of spouse and children of that person also, and dependents and dependents. Okay. Of course, a concept of domestic partner is also there, right? Spouse and domestic partner both are covered. And when the spouse kids are covered, domestic partner kids are also covered. Okay. So friends, thank you so much. I have covered Index 24 in detail with the help of concept, examples, and the practice questions. Thank you so much. I hope you have enjoyed the session. Stay blessed. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
Thank you. Yes, Ashokji, session is over.